Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good sunny afternoon so far. My name is Alyssa and we're back in my kitchen like we are every week to cook some lunch. The first thing that we're making is actually not lunch at all. It's a snack, it's a treat, it's a dessert. I'm really excited. Let me show you our cookbook for today, which is available at the library. This is really interesting. Excuse you. I have the water going already. You'll see why. This is a really interesting cookbook. It's called The Vegetable Butcher by Cara Mangini. More than 150 recipes and 250 step-by-step photographs, how to select, prep, slice, dice, and masterfully cook vegetables from artichokes to zucchini. Get it? A to Z. This is a really interesting cookbook, and I love it, actually. All right, calm down there, buddy. There we go. Turn it down a little bit. This is great for any home chef, but also I would totally recommend this to anybody you know who wants to get started cooking. And it's just all literally like from A to Z, different vegetables. Let's see, let me show you one of the pages. Right, like, okay, celery root. This is a whole chapter on celery root, and it just tells you about celery root, what it is, when to get it, how to pick a good one, what it goes well with, how to store it, how long it lasts, and then butchery essentials, how to cut and prepare it. And then depending on the vegetable, there will be, there's always this page, favorite cooking methods. And then there are sometimes a couple of pages worth of recipes. So the first thing that we're making today, which is the recipe that's on our website right now on the adult page under book cooks, is a budino. Okay, who knows what a budino is? It's Italian for custard or pudding. Okay, Alyssa, but we're using a vegetable cookbook. So how are you making a budino? The recipe that we're following is, although this is just an equally double whammy there, is from the chapter on avocados. But Alyssa, an avocado is a fruit. Yes, it is, but she decided to include it in this book anyway because it does pair really well with other vegetables. Avocados are tropical fruits. Yes, fruits that typically masquerade as vegetables, hence their inclusion here. It has good partners: arugula, basil, cheddar, chilies, goat cheese, feta, lemon, lime, mango, radishes, tomato, etc., etc. How to tell when it's ripe. And then just a couple of pictures on how to prepare. Favorite cooking methods, guacamole, and then what I have bookmarked here, the chocolate avocado budino with cinnamon and sea salt. Chocolate and avocado, two of the very best ingredients on the planet, come together here to make this lusciously rich, custardy Italian pudding. The combination may take a moment to imagine, but when these two unlikely partners are whipped together with maple syrup, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, and cream, they deliver. I'm not using cream. It does say in the recipe you can make like you can whip up some heavy whipping cream, and then you fold that in. I'm going to turn this down because we only need this water just to simmer. We're making a little double boiler here for our chocolate. And then you fold it into your chocolate and avocado mixture, which makes it a little lighter. I didn't want to go get heavy whipping cream, and by omitting it, I'm actually making something dairy-free. Cool. So what I have here right now is my water that is just starting to simmer. I'm going to turn it down a little bit, and I have some avocado that I've already taken out of the skins. All right, and so what you need to do, there's a little piece of pit in there, okay. Just kind of like mash this up so I have a hand mixer, so we're just gonna kind of like go for it, and you need your avocado to be super ripe. There we go. Okay. Making a mess. so listen, hear me out. You're probably like, oh my God, this is disgusting. Why would you put avocado with chocolate? It works. I'm telling you, it totally works. I even saw it on, of course, everybody knows, I love Good Eats. Elton Brown's my favorite chef. He made chocolate frosting out of avocado once. But they also sell in stores. So I just turned this down. It was boiling. I turned it down so it's simmering. And you don't want the bottom of your bowl to touch the water because that boiling water could cause your chocolate to scorch, and we don't want that. Look at that, it's starting to melt immediately. But they do sell in stores that, I don't know if you've seen it, it's called Avocado, and it's ice cream, but it's made from avocado, I guess not cream, but avocado oil. So, and it tastes good. It's dairy-free and it tastes good. I've had the chocolate one. It's super rich and creamy and amazing, and I love it. All right, so this is melting really quickly. I have my dairy-free chocolate chips going right here. This is a nice, they recommend like a nice semi-sweet or bittersweet. So this is just, that's just going nice. You don't want to get any moisture in here. You don't want the bubbles from the water to touch the bottom of your bowl. Look at that. That is pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to turn off the heat, leave this here because we have some more mixing to do. All right, so I can put this over here so you can see it. What I'm going to do next is add in the flavor. So we have some cinnamon, cayenne, vanilla, and maple syrup for sweetener, and some cocoa powder. I'm using cacao powder because I guess it's less processed, so it's better for you. We like healthy things. I'm making a healthy treat. Not low calorie, but it's healthy. Healthy fats, right? Okay. Let's see. We need to add a 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. I've already measured this out. So like real maple syrup, not the stuff that's corn syrup and caramel coloring and whatever. This is real maple syrup. It tastes better. It's better for you. And that's that. Okay. I need a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, which I have here. Can add that in as well. Come on out. Okay. How much vanilla? Let's see. 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Which just imparts its own amazing flavor to everything. I love vanilla extract. You know, you can put it in, you know, if you get like an unsweetened Greek yogurt, you can put vanilla extract in there and it tastes sweet inherently. You don't need to add sugar to it. Let's see. 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And about 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne. You don't want to put too much, but the warmth kind of goes well with the creaminess and the chocolate. So just a little bit. I don't want too much to come out. Wake up. It's like a little stuck in there. All right, there we go. That should be good enough. It's just a little bit, and a little bit of salt. How much? A pinch, just a pinch of salt. To bring out the flavors. And you're gonna top it with a little bit of salt afterwards too. All right, so I'm gonna mix this up again with my loud hand mixer. And it looks like brownie batter. I don't know, can you see this? It looks like brownie batter. I'm going to take my spatula from here and just make sure I scrape my bowl down. This is also a good opportunity to make sure that you don't have any big chunks of avocado. Like I just got it right there. I don't know if you can see that. Don't want any big chunks of avocado. Yes, I am mostly wearing this cocoa powder right now. Scrape everything down. Down the bowl one more time, but see, it is looking kind of like a brownie batter, and it smells like it too. I know you probably don't believe me yet that this is going to be good, but I'm telling you it is. I can smell the cinnamon and the cayenne just a little bit. I can actually smell it. All right, there's still a couple of chunks in there. And it says you can just kind of like keep hand mixing, or you could just take the back of a spoon and mush those little pieces of avocado chunks down if you would like. Okay, very good. So let's see what we're gonna do next. I think we're just gonna fold the chocolate in. Yep, that's it. So obviously if I did the whipped cream, it would be lighter, more mousse-like, less of a pudding, and then also would probably make more servings and would cut your calories. But we're here for chocolate. We're not here to worry about that. So, all right, this has cooled down a bit, so I can go ahead and grab it. And I'm just gonna pour this right in, this beautiful, melted, delicious chocolate. Look at that river of chocolate. And this is really easy to do. If you're making the whipping cream, what you would do next is just fold that in really gently. And it, like I said, it'll aerate and lighten your mixture. Don't want to leave any chocolate behind. I'm just trying to make sure I scrape it all up here. But this is going to be more of that like custard pudding texture than a lighter mousse Budino. Okay, all right, I'm going to put this in the sink. All right, and then we're going to mix this together thoroughly, and that's it. It just needs to chill after this. Scrape the bowl again and do one final mix, and then we're going to put it into your little cups, ramekins, whatever it is that you have. Yeah, it looks like batter, but it's really like a combination between brownie batter and pudding texture, what I seem to have here now. Avocados are really thick and creamy, so why not, right? Okay. I'm gonna see what this tastes like. Very chocolatey. Wow. I like chocolate. chocolate. Okay, let me get the ramekins. Oh, and I can taste the maple syrup. You know, like real authentic maple syrup has almost like a little bit of a smoky, earthy taste. I can taste that. It tastes really good with the chocolate. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands. I have ramekins here, so I'm gonna grab a spoon. And then you're just supposed to chill this, and like you would with any pudding that you've cooked, you're supposed to put plastic wrap right onto the surface. I'm just doing little servings. I don't need big servings. We'll see, we'll even it out. And let it chill. I guess you don't want a skin to form, I guess. But also, I mean, I'm not using the cream, so I don't know if a skin would form. I don't know. So before I really give this a taste, I'm actually going to put these in the fridge. I'm going to put one in the freezer so it chills up a little faster. And in the meantime, I'm going to actually make my lunch, which you're going to join me for because it also comes from this cookbook and it sounds really good. So we'll do that next. And then hopefully by the time my lunch is done, one of these will be chilled enough for us to taste the true effect of this chilled, delicious, thick pudding. Very chocolatey. Very, very chocolatey. I'm just smoothing it out a little bit. Okay. Ooh. I don't think there's like an even amount in each of these, but that's okay. Yeah, it really does. I mean, really, the texture looks just like brownie batter. Like a really, really thick pudding, you know, not so much the instant ones, but when you cook them on the stove and they get really, really thick and luscious, that's what this reminds me of, that texture. All right, let's start scraping the bowl so we can get everybody all together here. Let's see, a little more in this one, and a little more in this one over here. So your mileage may vary. Like I said, if you're using the whipped cream, obviously you're going to have more volume to your mixture here. And you can either fill your ramekins up a little higher than I am, or you can have more little cupfuls of chocolatey yummy. But I did like that the thicker, more authentic texture is naturally dairy-free, so that, even though what I'm about to do next is not dairy-free. Just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. Let's see. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to smooth these out a little bit. There's a little bit of chocolate over here. Put it right in there. Okay. Smooth these out a little bit, just for presentation's sake, I guess. Like I said, I'm going to put them in the fridge really quickly. Very chocolatey. Wow. And we'll put one in the freezer just so that it chills while I'm making the next thing. Let's see if there's room for these in the fridge. Maybe. I have a lot of food in my fridge, especially like I eat a lot of fresh veggies, a lot of stuff in my fridge. And then we gotta reset this counter for my savory dish. Nice. Okay, here I come. I have an egg. I also have, just off camera, asparagus, bread, and brie cheese. We're making kind of like a sophisticated asparagus grilled cheese. Sign me up. All right, so let me just clean up over here just a little bit so we can reset. Wipe up all of this cocoa powder and cinnamon and cayenne pepper. Unplug this. Oh yeah, there's cocoa powder everywhere. Not a bad problem to have, but a messy problem. That's okay. I'm going to give these a rinse because I do need these to measure out my marinade for the asparagus. Okay. Good enough. Okay, so in the book where it talks about preparing your asparagus, I was yesterday days old when I realized that you can just snap the woody ends off of the asparagus. You don't need to try to feel around and figure out where it is. That like you go to bend the end and naturally where the woody part that we don't eat separates from the really nice tender part of the vegetable, it'll just naturally snap there. Usually I'm like chopping, trying to figure it out. Snap it, just snap it. So thanks to this cookbook, I learned that. All right, so I have my bowl here. We can move this. We're going to do a little switcheroo. We don't need this anymore. So it's a panini because it's not really a grilled cheese. A grilled asparagus, taleggio, and fried egg panini. I don't have taleggio, so I got brie. This is a springtime sandwich that you should not miss. Marinate asparagus spears in lemon, olive oil, and herbs and grill them. I don't have a grill pan, so we're just going to use my regular pan. Press them between slices of crusty bread with an oozy fried egg with creamy yolk, gooey cheese, and spicy arugula. Ooh, I forgot to get arugula. That's okay. And I also don't have luscious crusty bread. I have gluten-free bread. A little disappointing, but it's okay. All right, so I have my asparagus right here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that in, and we're gonna make our marinade. So I have lemon juice, olive oil, and olive oil, salt, pepper, some chives, mint leaves. I don't have chives, I have my scallions, so I'll do that. I do have some mint leaves in the freezer. So I'm just gonna cut this in half because the recipe is for 2 sandwiches and I only have 1. So I'm only making 1. I don't need to make more than that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, put that in there. How much lemon juice? I'll do about the same. It also says lemon zest. I don't have a lemon, I just have a jar of lemon juice that I use for everything. Okay. Let's see, salt and pepper. Don't worry, I'll mush them in there. I know they're kind of like standing up and defeats the purpose of marinating them, but I'll mush them in, it'll be fine. You'll see. Some pepper, the fresh ground pepper just has a really great flavor. Very strong. Okay, let's see. I have mint over here that I took out of the freezer, so I'll smush that up. And then I'll chop my green onions. Yeah, so I put some mint leaves in the freezer, and they kind of naturally dried out, but they work great for recipes that call for mint. So I'm just gonna rip that by hand. And get that in here. I guess I never thought to mix asparagus with other herbs before, right? I'm like, oh, that's a green thing. I could kind of just let it be on its own. I guess I didn't think of it as mixing well with other herbs because it's got enough of its own flavor, but okay. Let me just chop a couple scallions really nice and thin. Were frozen, so now they're all mushy. Like I said, I keep everything in my freezer. I don't want things to go bad, but I like to have different seasonings. Let's see, what else? Okay, that's it. So we are going to toss to coat, and then we're going to put them into a hot pan. And then we're going to put them back in this bowl over here. So let me get my tongs. Heat up my pan. And just kind of mix everything around. Get in there, asparagus. Should have used a different bowl for this. It's fine. All of my good big wide bowls were being used for chocolate. Okay. Breaking and bending just to get it coated. And so, you know, this is supposed to be done on a grill pan or on a grill if you have it, because the author, the chef, wants you to get color on it. You want that flavor from the color. You want a little scorch, a little smoke. So I'm going to make sure that I get some color here on this pan, from the pan on my asparagus. All right. So nice and coated, and I can see the oil and the salt and pepper on there. There we go. That's got a nice sizzle. We're just gonna watch that. Okay, let's see. What can we do in the meantime? I got my bread over there. I got some cheese already cut up. Do the egg next. So I have some butter to put in. Go. Put in this pan. Let me get the butter. Some butter. We'll do the egg next so that cooks. I'm looking for the lid, because I want that white to set. Okay. So I always like to cook when I'm doing a fried egg. I always like to put the lid on. It helps it cook all the way around, especially when you're like me and you have a stove that runs pretty hot. I don't want the yolk to cook from the bottom before the egg whites on top are set. I love asparagus, especially when it gets a little crispy. I made some in my air fryer last night. I just did just the slightest coating of avocado oil, and I just put it in at 400 degrees for about 7 minutes, and it got nice and crispy, and I topped it with some hot honey. It's really good. All right, let me crack the egg in here. And we'll let that fry up. wash my hands. Okay. That right there. Let's check the asparagus. Oh, it's getting nice and brown, so I gotta make sure that I'm moving it around enough. See, the recipe does actually originally call for taleggio cheese. I've never had taleggio, so I had to look it up, and it was like a good replacement for taleggio if you can't find it at your store, because the place I went to didn't have it. It said brie and then some other kind of cheese that I'd never heard of. And I like cheese, I didn't know what it was, so we got brie cheese. These are feeling nice and tender, and they're getting some good color on them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this off actually. Go ahead and reintroduce them to my marinade, and they're softer now, so they're gonna sit in there really nicely. My egg is starting to fry up. So you can see there is definitely some color on that asparagus from the pan. That's what we want, that's what we're looking for, as if we were grilling it. Okay, so I think we can start to prepare our bread. So let me get a knife and a plate. So when you're making, you can, you could do this in a panini base if you have it. Hello, egg. Just popped at me. But we're gonna do it in the hot pan like a grilled cheese. Good grilled cheese, you do it over a flat top or a pan, really good. So let's see. So this one says to melt the butter in the skillet and then place the bread. Why are you popping like that? Very aggressively. Relax. Covered you up. Very aggressive today. To melt the butter in the pan, the way I usually do it is I spread the butter on here and do it that way. I guess I'll follow the instructions and put the butter in the pan. Alright. Don't need it on very high. The pan's already pretty hot. I'm going to turn this because it looks like it's almost done setting there, and I don't want it to overcook. Actually, might remove that from the heat because all of a sudden it's perfect. Let's go ahead and put our bread down, get that in the butter. We want it to get nice and crispy and warm. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get my brie cheese and kind of lay it out on here. Just want to lay it out so it kind of evenly coats. We want it to get nice and gooey and melty and scrumptious. Okay. Get some on this side. And over here and over there. Look at that. Nice little blanket of cheese. It's just the way I like it. All right, let me put the butter back in the fridge before it melts while that browns. All right, let's see what it says. Cook uncovered until the cheese melts. Then you assemble your sandwich. So that should be pretty easy, right? Okay. toasty over here and getting brown. That's good. But you want your cheese to get melty, and it's not. It says leave it uncovered because you don't want your bread to get soggy, right? Ooh, that piece looks really good. Okay. I mean, that's basically it. Then I got my egg over here. A little overcooked, but this is live TV here. Oops. It's fine. Okay. But I do want this to melt. Oh, it's starting to melt over here. Oh, it's very exciting. I've got my asparagus spears here. I'm actually going to go ahead and cut them a little bit so that they fit on the bread better, right? That makes sense. Let me just give them a little slice in half. Okay. I'm just going to continue to let them hang out in that marinade. Oh yeah, I can see the cheese is starting to melt a little. Let's see. My bread is nice and toasted. Alright, that one's dark. I'm going to go ahead and put the asparagus on here. Just line them up, smush them into the cheese. And I'm definitely making sure to pull some of the mint and scallion along with me while I'm lining it up here. Oh yeah, that's starting to get melty. That's exactly what we want, right? Looks good. And the marinade is good too. Nice peppery with the lemon. I love that. Alright, I'm going to get the hot egg and put it on the other side. Ooh. Don't need you to cook anymore. You're already a little overcooked there. Oh, yep, that cheese is just ready to melt. Okay, so I'm going to take this out of the pan. Come on back, asparagus spear. All right, I'm going to flip this over top. There it is. Alrighty. Very hot. Okay. And then, yeah, like I said, I forgot the arugula, but if you have arugula, you put that in there now too. Okay, I'm gonna let this cool down, and I'm going to check on my Budino in the freezer. So we'll do dessert first. It's fine. It's the way I like to live. It's definitely chilled and firmed up nicely. Right, you can see that, just like a pudding. Ooh, it's really thick. So maybe, yeah, so maybe the whipped cream would be nice, but this is definitely more of a thick pudding texture. Wow, this is very chocolatey and very creamy, but I didn't use any dairy. The cinnamon is really good with this. I mean, cinnamon and chocolate, right? Always tastes good. And there's just a little bit of warmth from the cayenne pepper, but not a lot. Wow. This really like I said before, looks like a brownie batter, tastes like a brownie batter. This is really good. And like I said, no dairy and no refined sugar. Again, you could use the whipping cream to make it more of a mousse texture, but I like this dense indulgence right here. Okay. I'll put that to the side. But yeah, I mean, so because we melted chocolate and because avocado has a lot of fat, it does firm up really nicely in the fridge. So you don't need, you know, if you're making your traditional pudding, you don't need cornstarch and thickeners and what have you. It's totally natural, which we love. All right, this is cooled down just a smidge. So here's my, ooh, look at that cheese. Can you see that? That looks great. My egg, asparagus, and brie panini. Let's see. Oh, wow. So, if you watch or read, if you watch a lot of cooking shows or read a lot of cookbooks like I do, you know, they always talk about different textures, different flavor profiles, layers of flavor. This has that. The first thing I got was the crunch of this nice, can you hear that? This nice crispy bread that was pan fried. Oh, my cheese is escaping. Don't escape. And then I got a little snap from the asparagus because I got it browned in here, but I didn't cook it until it was mushy. It still has a nice fresh snap, as if maybe you had like parboiled it really quickly and then tossed it into an ice bath. But then I got this burst from the mint leaves. I got the brightness of the acid from the lemon juice, and then I got a burst of the mint flavor, which is so unexpected in a sandwich for me. Wow. Mmm. And then, of course, the cheese just adds another texture. It's creamy. It has a good mouthfeel. It works really well with the acid from the lemon juice. There's all that salt in there. Oh, I forgot to put salt on top of my Budino. We'll do that next. Hang on. There it is. There's the mint again. It's such a burst. It's such an unexpected flavor. And it seems like it doesn't belong, but it somehow goes so well with it. That's a really good sandwich. Never thought to put asparagus in a sandwich, but here I am. All right. So you are supposed to put a little flaky sea salt on top of this because it kind of helps to cut through some of that dense creaminess and bring out some of the flavors. So let me just sprinkle a little bit of salt on here. Just a coarse grind of your salt or a flaky finishing salt. You don't need a lot. What a good lunch this is. Chocolate and cheese. Right, so I just put just a little bit of that flaky salt right on top. Don't skip the salt. Wow. Kind of like the mint and the acid in this sandwich, the salt helps to cut through the richness and creaminess of this avocado and some of the darkness of this rich chocolate. Really good. So, this is a really good lunch. This is a great cookbook. Again, this is the Vegetable Butcher. As you can see, I've tabbed a bunch of recipes because there's a lot of good stuff in here, and it's just really interesting if you're into cooking and you kind of say, well, how do I prepare the vegetable, or what's something that goes with this vegetable, especially now with you know, all the farm boxes, the CSA boxes, and the farms that are opening, and you kind of get what you get and you're not sure what to do with it. This is a great book. Next week, I forgot what we're cooking next week. I did choose it, but I forgot. And then that's the last week until summer. We'll do this twice a month in July. Because it's summer reading, we're super busy, but we'll do little themes. So I forget what the theme is for July. I already did all of my themes yesterday. I can tell you right now, I think August is zucchini, of course. But so we'll keep having more fun with more cookbooks that you can get from the library. And if you're looking for a cookbook and you're not sure exactly where to look or what you need, let me know. And you can come on in and browse. We are open now for open browsing for our hours, which are listed on the website. So you can come on in and browse the cookbooks. And if you're looking for something specific, I can help you out. All right, that's it. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my lunch. I will see you soon, everybody. Bye.